Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at The Night House, starring Rebecca Hall from 2021. Now this is a film that I'm going to have to try to skirt around some spoilers. Now if I do feel that I'm going to get into spoiler territory, I will definitely let everybody know. You can stop the video, go check out this film, and come back later on. Now this film, right off the bat, it pulls absolutely no punches. Right off the bat. And again, this is not really a spoiler because it's basically, you know, the premise for this film. Rebecca Hall's husband, they've been married for 14 years, and he has committed suicide. He took a boat because they live basically on a lake. Beautiful house that they have, and that he built himself. He was an architect, and he takes the boat out onto the lake and he shoots himself. And basically, how this film begins is just you see a grieving Rebecca Hall, who's a teacher. And that's something else I'm going to get into in a second, because there is a scene when she does go back to, you know, still having a lot, you know, some, you know, issues and everything after, you know, why did her husband do this? There was no sign that there was anything wrong with this gentleman. And all of a sudden, he has decided to take his life. So something is definitely not right. You definitely get the feeling that there was more to this story. There are things that are going on that she doesn't know. There are maybe secrets to his life that she did not know about. So right off the bat, you know, once you find out, you know, what has happened, you know, she goes back to school. And you can tell she definitely does not, she's still not right. She's still in that grieving process. And this entire film, I mean, she is definitely grieving throughout this entire film. And you have this one student's mom who comes in and basically asks her, you know, why did my son get a C on this project instead, you know, why did he get a C? You know, you told him to come in on this particular day to make up this assignment, and you were not here. Well, Rebecca Hall basically just lays in to, very subtly, says, you know, what do you want? And again, I want people to see the whole scene because it is excellent. Rebecca Hall is phenomenal in this film. She is excellent. Absolutely excellent. You feel everything that she's going through. So she is absolutely excellent in this film. Now, and she basically tells this mom, you know, what do you want? What do you want me to do? You want a B? Okay, there you go. You got a B. But this goes on even a little bit more. And you see she puts this woman in her place. I'll leave it at that. She really does, but does it so subtly and complete perfection. I was taken back by Rebecca Hall's performance. She is just fantastic, especially throughout the film when she's discovering more and more things about her husband. Now, we also have this other gentleman who lives basically almost across the lake from them. He's like almost like a neighbor, basically. And, you know, he comes in, he checks on her. She also has a friend who's another teacher within the school, and she's excellent too. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. I haven't seen her in any other films, but she was really good. I mean, if there was ever a best friend you'd want her, because she was so supportive throughout the entire film, you know, for Rebecca Hall's character. Her name is Beth. And, you know, she's trying to discover, you know, again, why did her husband, whose name is Owen, why did he go ahead and do this? And right off, you know, even towards the beginning, like the first 10, 15 minutes, you definitely see you have a supernatural feel to this film. Now, is there something supernatural going on? I don't really want to get into that territory of what's going on within this film, but there are definitely some supernatural feels, and the way that the lighting is done, the way that they shot this film, it's nerve-wracking because it's very tense, very intense with this, you know, with this film, because there are subtle ways that they were able to film certain objects within the house, but give you almost like it was a human form, like the way the lighting would hit and make like a shadow, like almost like someone's face or someone's body. It was great. It was really, really good. Again, I would recommend this film to anybody who likes maybe like a supernatural thriller. But again, I think now, you know, talking about it a little bit more, I think I might have to get in some spoiler territory with this film. Not too much though. Not too much. So I'm not going to give away the ending or anything like that of what happens within this film. But if you want to, you can stop the video now. Okay, now if you're still here, you want to hear some spoilers. Minor spoilers. It's nothing too, like, oh my gosh, you're not going to want to see the film after it. Basically, one of the main things that you see when she discovers things that have happened with her husband, she discovers that he was basically doing, getting into the occult. And he was, looking into these books. But why was he looking into these books? Now, there are things that Rebecca Hall says to her friend earlier in the film that kind of, like, later on in the film, towards the end, you understand. They come into play. So definitely pay attention to the dialogue, because there's a lot of things that are subtly put in that you're definitely going to want to definitely going to want to pay attention to get an idea. And maybe you can piece them together where this film might go at the end. Now, what she discovers is that on his phone, on her husband's phone, he has pictures of all these different women. But all these women have a very similar resemblance to Rebecca Hall's character, Beth. But why was her husband, why was he, not only taking pictures of these women, was he having an affair? What was going on? And why was all these women having a striking resemblance to her? So that's something that definitely, comes into play later on in the film. He also was building a house across the lake, which was a mirror image of the house that they lived in. So why? Why was, what was going on with these women? Why was he building a mirror-type house resembling the house he already has with Rebecca Hall? What's going on? But I'm going to leave it at that. So again, minor spoilers, because there's definitely something going on. Now, again, and I'll give my opinion on this film when I get, right at the very end. But this film is definitely it's a thinker. It will make you think. And the end is definitely up to interpretation. It's how you feel watching the entire film, what you take away from watching this film. For me, I definitely feel like there was a supernatural presence in this film. There was definitely something supernatural going on. I get what some other people say about the ending of this film as well. Like I said, it's all up to interpretation. Was there something supernatural going on? Was it all in Rebecca Hall's head? Again, there's going to be things that are thrown out throughout the film that are going to make you might feel one way or might feel the other. I'm kind of like in the middle with it. Like, I get the argument by, both, not so much an argument, but I get what everybody's saying about this. Why, I get where people are coming from. Like, why they feel that maybe it's all in her head. Maybe, it is a supernatural presence. One other little spoiler, and pay attention for this one. It's not too far into the film, but there's a scene when Rebecca Hall is explaining to her friend how when she was younger, she was in an accident, and basically she died for like 4 to 5 minutes. She was dead. She was pronounced dead, and she came back. And in that time, when she died, everybody asks her, what did you see? And she said she saw nothing. Pay attention to that. When she says she saw nothing, pay attention, because that will come into play later on in the film. The word nothing is really, really big and really important to this film. So definitely pay attention for that one. Now, overall, like I said, the visuals, really good. The jump scares, there are some jump scares. I was surprised at the amount of jump scares that were in this film. Everything seems nice and quiet, and boom, they hit you hard. So definitely pay attention and definitely be on the edge of your seat for some pretty decent jump scares. But now, as far as on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a 6. I think it's a above average film. It's definitely going to make you think, and again, all up into interpretation with the ending. But I think a 6 out of 10 is solid for this film. I've heard some people even give this a 10 out of 10. I don't know if it's a 10 out of 10. I think Rebecca Hall's performance is fantastic. Her best friend's performance is fantastic. Really good acting in this film. But I think a 6 out of 10 is where I want to be for this film. I enjoyed it. It wasn't the greatest film I've seen, but it was still pretty enjoyable and definitely, definitely makes you think. I think I would have liked to have seen, I think if I had just a little more supernatural to this film, if it was more of a clear cut, what's going on, I think my score would be just a little bit higher for this film. But overall, I think 6 out of 10 is still really solid for this particular film. I would definitely highly recommend checking it out. And yeah, check out The Night House. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Like I said, 6 out of 10, that's still a pretty solid score for a film that, I'd seen the trailer, and, a while ago, a long time ago, before this film even came out, I saw the trailer. And, kind of went under the radar for me. I kind of forgot all about it. And, Amazon had it for a decent price the other day, $12. Couldn't pass on it to finally check out The Night House. So 6 out of 10, again, for The Night House. Like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I will catch you in another episode. Take care.